Pathological overthinking, often referred to as rumination, can be both irrational and detrimental to one's mental health. It involves repetitive and uncontrollable thoughts about a specific topic, often negative or distressing, without reaching a resolution. Here are several points that explain why pathological overthinking is irrational. Repetitive and unproductive. Pathological overthinking involves thinking about the same issue or problem repeatedly without making any progress towards a solution. This constant mental loop is irrational because it doesn't lead to any constructive outcome. Inability to problem solve. Instead of actively seeking solutions, individuals who engage in overthinking tend to dwell on problems and magnify them. They get stuck in a cycle of worrying without taking action, which is counterproductive. Exaggeration of negativity. Overthinking often amplifies the negative aspects of a situation while downplaying or ignoring positive elements. This skewed perspective is irrational as it doesn't accurately represent reality. Catastrophizing. Overthinkers may jump to the worst-case scenario in their minds, assuming that the most disastrous outcome is inevitable. This is irrational because it doesn't consider the range of possible outcomes, many of which may be less severe. Time-consuming. Pathological overthinking can consume an excessive amount of time and mental energy. People can spend hours or even days dwelling on the same issue, which is an irrational allocation of resources. Impact on decision-making. Overthinking can paralyze decision-making. It makes it difficult to make choices because people become overwhelmed by excessive analysis and doubt, rather than relying on sound judgment and available information. Perfectionism. Overthinking is often associated with perfectionism, where individuals strive for an unattainable level of flawlessness. This is irrational as perfection is an ideal that cannot be realistically achieved. Physiological effects. Overthinking can lead to physical symptoms like stress, anxiety, and sleep disturbances. These physiological responses are irrational because they can be detrimental to one's health and well-being. Negative self-talk. Overthinking often involves self-criticism and negative self-talk. This type of internal dialogue is irrational because it undermines self-esteem and self-worth. Cycle of worry. Overthinking tends to create a vicious cycle where excessive worry leads to more stress and anxiety, which in turn fuels further overthinking. Breaking this cycle can be challenging and often requires intervention. Interference with daily life. Pathological overthinking can interfere with daily functioning, making it difficult for individuals to concentrate on tasks, maintain relationships, or enjoy life. This disruption is irrational because it impedes personal growth and happiness. Lack of perspective. Overthinking often involves a narrow focus on a single issue, neglecting the bigger picture. This lack of perspective is irrational as it doesn't consider the broader context in which problems or challenges exist. Misuse of mental energy. The excessive mental energy expended on overthinking could be better used for more productive, creative, or positive endeavors. The irrationality lies in squandering cognitive resources on unproductive thought patterns. Pathological overthinking is irrational because it leads to repetitive, unproductive thought patterns that are often skewed toward negativity, time-consuming, and counterproductive. It interferes with decision-making, personal well-being, and the ability to lead a balanced and fulfilling life. Addressing this irrational thinking often requires cognitive behavioral therapy or other therapeutic approaches to break the cycle and develop healthier thought patterns.